ever had a productive day and when you went to bed exhausted, you went to bed irritated and just feeling behind? Because sometimes the problem isn't that it's what you're doing, it's the pace. I've learned that it's the pace that we are doing it at. By the end of today's video, you're going to learn how to, you're going to discover how to work at a pace that honors God, and it's going to protect your peace, and it's going to actually help you to get more done without the burnout. And it's going to be using the grace pace rhythm system. It's going to be using the grace pace rhythm system. Hello, beautiful mom, beautiful career moms. I am Felicia, and I help the high achieving Christian career working moms to create harmony and not the hustle through faith led time stewardship and God centered routines. Last week on the channel, we talked about faith led rhythm series, and we learned how to plan from presence. We learned how to plan from presence and not pressure. So today we're going to be learning how to work. We're going to learn how to work at God's pace and not cultures cultures. So I want to share with you too that because you can do all, we can do all the right tasks. We can do all the right tasks and still we can be feeling wrong, not good, not settled on the inside if we're moving at a rhythm. If we're moving at a rhythm God never assigned to us. If we're moving at a rhythm that God never assigned to us. So let's just dive right in and begin to talk about how part one in why our pace it could be the real problem. Why our pace could be the real problem of the issue. Number one is, excuse me, we live in a culture that tells us to hurry, to grind, to multitask, and to do it all. But here's the truth. God never called us to rush. He never calls us to continually rush, but he did call us to walk with him. He called us to walk with him. Walking is steady. Walking with him is intentional. Walking with him is relational, and that's what he has called us to do. God is not behind us telling us to hurry, rush. But let me tell you what he is. He's not behind us, but thank the Lord that he is beside us saying, stay with me. Walk with me, my child. Part two is the three rhythms of grace pace productivity. Let me share three rhythms of grace pace productivity. Number one is, let's think about grace for today, not tomorrow, but today. Grace for today. Number one, you don't need grace for next week yet. You don't need grace for next month. But God gives us grace daily because he wants us to depend totally on him daily. Give us this day our daily bread. He wants our total dependence upon him daily to build that trust and build that relationship with him, build that closeness with him, and have a total dependence upon the Lord. Have a total dependence upon the Lord. We need to ask ourselves each morning, what do I have grace for today, Lord? What are you giving me grace for on today? And that question alone, it can replace When we ask God that question, what do I have grace for on today, God? Then that question alone, that question by itself can replace the overwhelm with clarity. It can replace overwhelm with the clarity that we need. Number two, we're talking about grace. Grace for capacity. Grace for capacity. Grace for capacity is not every season has the same pace. And I'm sure we have all personally experienced that. Not every season has the same pace. Also, some seasons are full and some seasons are slow. Some seasons are healing and some seasons are growing. So we have to give ourselves permission to work based on the season that we are in, not someone else's expectation, not someone else's expectation. So ask yourself, what does this season allow? Ask, what does this season that I'm in right now allow? So this, when we do this stops you from trying to live like someone who isn't carrying what you're carrying. When we ask this, it stops us from trying to live like someone who isn't carrying what we're carrying in the particular season that we are in. Number three, grace for rest. Grace for rest. Rest is not a reward for working. Rest is a rhythm God built into life. When we rest, our brain begins. When we rest, our brains organize. When we rest, our bodies recover. When we rest, our spirits, they reset. When we rest, our creativity grows. When we rest, our attitudes are better. Our attitudes soften. Our attitudes are more mellow. And when we're resting, it's not quitting. When we're resting, we're not quitting. We're just resting. We're just resting. Resting, when we're resting, it is refuel. We get to refuel our body, our minds, and our spirits. So we need to ask, where does rest need to live at in my routine? Where does rest need to live in my routine? Schedule it. Schedule rest like an appointment that you schedule everything else. Schedule that time of rest just like an appointment. So right now, I want you to just take a moment to just take a deep breath and just breathe and just let yourself just slow down. Let yourself just slow down. Let your shoulders drop and ask God. Um, God isn't asking you to, He isn't asking you to keep up, but He's just asking you to keep close. He's not asking you to keep up, but He's asking you to keep close, to stay close to Him. He said, if you draw nigh to me, I will draw nigh unto you. He said, if you draw nigh to me, I will draw nigh unto you. So in my encouragement on today, I just want to share with you and let you know that you're not failing. You're not behind. Sometimes God isn't telling you to do more. I think we have that, constantly in our heads that we have to do more. We got to do more. We got to do more. But sometimes God isn't telling us to do more. But He's inviting us. He's inviting you to do life with Him. He's inviting you to do life with Him. He said, if you abide in Him and He in you, that's how you bear much fruit. That's how you bear much fruit. When we abide, when we stay connected to the vine, we cannot disconnect ourselves from the vine. We can't operate in our own strength and trying to be productive and do things the way that He would have us to do them. In order to do that, we need to abide in the vine. We need to abide in the vine. We are the branches and He is the vine. And that's how we be fruitful and productive His way. Productivity was never meant to cause you peace. No. That's not God's way. Productivity was never meant to cost you your peace. Productivity and peace can go together. Productivity and peace can walk together when your pace comes directly from the Lord. When your pace comes directly from the Lord. So, if today's message has blessed you, I invite you to watch. Be on the lookout for week 3. Next week, I will be talking about creating a weekly rhythm of renewal. Creating a weekly rhythm of renewal. And don't forget to grab your free 7-day Flourish in the Word devotional to help you to renew your spirit in the middle of your busy weeks. And don't forget to subscribe, like and subscribe, and share with another career mom. And remember to keep letting God set your rhythm and not pressure. Keep letting God set your rhythm and not pressure. Remember, here on this channel, we focus on work-life harmony and not hustle. Thank you so very much for joining me, and I look forward to connecting with you on next week.